This bleeding man is a Syrian refugee, caught in a moment after a violent clash with police, a moment of desperation and misunderstanding.
This photo was taken during a riot on the border between Hungary and Serbia.
That was Diego Kupalo, an independent photojournalist following the refugee crisis. Diego was in the Serbian town of Huragos. The town was a popular crossing point into Hungary used by hundreds of refugees. What he didn't know was the Hungarian government was about to close the border, leaving 2,500 people stranded without food, water, or shelter.
Once Hungary closed this entry point here in Orgos, thousands of people basically became stranded. And they had very little with them, not much more than they could carry in one backpack. And imagine many families being stranded in parking lots with no bathrooms and no place to even wash your hands. The tension grew quickly.
And that tension exploded just a few days later. On September 16th, 2015, groups of frustrated migrants threw rocks, taunted police, and set fires along the border fence. And it wasn't long before police retaliated, firing water cannons and tear gas into the crowds, which included families with young children. The rioting continued for hours, and in the process, a small group managed to tear the border gates down.
Families saw that the gates were open in a distance and began to think they were allowed to enter Hungary suddenly after all the clashes, after all the water cannons and tear gas and rock throwing. They thought the riot was over and the Hungarian government had decided to just let them in.
Unaware of what had really happened, large groups, including families, started to cross the border into Hungary. The initial feeling amongst the crowd was happy, with many people singing songs. However, the mood shifted dramatically as Hungarian border police struck the front of the crowd with batons. The attack caused a stampede.
I was in the middle of the crowd and I was filming people walking in happily before the incident, and suddenly I heard thousands of footsteps behind me. Next thing I know, I'm not touching the ground. The whole crowd is just pushing me back into Serbia. I'm not walking. There's so many people around me that I'm just moving with this sea of humans. And when I turn around and start recording the people coming out of the stampede, I took a picture of this man along with other children that had been hit by tear gas. And it was really just a horrible scene.
Images like this might be gruesome, but they also don't shy away from reality. A refugee's journey is a harrowing and sometimes violent one, because the unfortunate truth is not everyone is going to welcome them. Diego's images are at once a reflection of the migrant journey and a challenge to those who don't recognize them as people.
With my photos, I try to humanize refugees. I try to portray them as ordinary people because they are. They're just like you and me. They're simply doing something that any reasonable human being would do. Refugees are leaving areas of conflict, political corruption, economic instability, and they want to start new lives in places that are a little bit more friendly to human life. You and I would do that. Anyone who cares about their children would do that. And it's important to understand these people are not moving because they want to, but because they have to.
For more powerful stories from across the world, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post new videos every week. Thanks for watching.